Emergency transmission today, guys. What is up? Zach Ginn here. Winter is coming. That is basically the entire message of today's emergency meeting, emergency live stream. We have our bonus live stream today where winter's coming. I want to break down exactly what this means for the real estate wholesaling community and what this means today. I feel like doing a live today for my West Coasters, my weekend warriors out here that basically never get to hop on my regular lives. They basically get to hop on and talk to me live today on a Sunday. So basically what I want to talk today is winter is coming, basically the coming issues and pending problems I see in the wholesaling industry and how to overcome them. This is going to be very, very important for a lot of wholesalers out here starting out because we do have some whirlwinds coming down the road in the next 1 to 2 years for wholesaling success. And I want to break it down. I want to talk about it. And I want a lot of people to become very educated on the coming issues in wholesaling real estate. So without further ado, let's kind of break them down and share them. So number one, like what is winter? What is winter coming? What is, am I scaring you? I'm not trying to scare you guys here. What I can tell you right now is we are coming on uncertain times in the real estate market. And in today's video and in tomorrow, we're going to do a quick little mini series on exactly the methods, the steps you need to take to wholesale if a recession hits, if there's a market correction, everything like that. But what I tell you is you're on the Zach Ginn channel right now. I do exclusive live streams sometimes for you guys out here that just you can't find anywhere else. That's why you should subscribe here. But let's kind of talk about things right now. So number one, inflation hit a new year-over-year high, about 9.1%, which is kind of insane. But what I could tell you on this situation is this would probably indicate a 0.75 75 basis point bump, almost a full percentage point on the next Fed meeting. Won't be too crazy, but it'd probably be 0.75 on the next bump, which isn't insane. Most likely, inflation won't be curbed till next year, which is fine. I know a lot of people were calling for crazy crashes in wholesaling in the real estate market, and I don't really see that. Honestly, Zach Radamus, Nostradamus, but for Zachadamus. I'm basically predicting more or less a 10 to 20% kickback on prices just due to inventory more or less and interest rates going up. I don't see things going that crazy, but I do see things shifting a tad, just a little bit. Most of the issues I'm going to see here is a lot of the cash buyers are going to want cheaper prices and the sellers won't for probably the next month or two, more or less. Now, there's obviously going to be deals either way. I'm going to show you the exact list to do it today, but a lot of wholesalers are going to be confused because some sellers are going to still think their house is worth $1 million. Most wholesalers are going to understand what's going on, and they're going to want to sell for deeper discounts, but some are still going to be in log crazy land. I'm not here to make a scary video. This is actually a very, very, very positive video. Very shocking for a lot of people, but this is going to be a very positive video for you. This really won't affect wholesalers more or less. I think that's the number one thing I can say. I see so many wholesalers out here, influencers, coaches, gurus, whatever you want to call them. They make things very, very scary. They make things very, very scary to a point. But the wholesaling is going to be bad. The reason why these gurus more or less say scary things about the market is because they can't sell you a $10,000 course. They get very scared over that because if you're in a recession, people aren't willing to cough up 10 grand to learn wholesaling when I can teach you it for free. They freak out. I'm not freaked out. I make more money during this time. I'm fine, you know. But this won't affect us wholesalers. I want to say another transmission message for you guys out here. You guys understand this, but like when you were wholesaling real estate, the average wholesaling house you're wholesaling, maybe you lock it for 100 and you sell for 120. During a correction, let's say a 10% correction, okay? You're going to lock up a deal for 90 and probably sell it for 115, 110, make the same 20. You're making the same amount of money. Just you lock it up for a lower price and you sell it for a low price. It makes no sense to me why most wholesalers freak out because you're making the same amount. I've seen the slips from Rick. I see the slips from so many wholesalers that were wholesaling during the past 3 crashes, right? They're making the same amount of money. It's just the prices that are different. You can call it day trading to a point, right? Like if you bought a stock at $100 and sold it for $150, you made $50 on that stock, let's say in 2 weeks, right? That's like a long-term. So let's say you bought a stock for $1 and sold it for $2 in one day. What if the stock goes down 50%? You think your mind's blown, right? No, you just buy it for 50 cents and you sell it for $1. Like, the prices change. It's insane. It makes no absolute sense why people are freaking out over this market. The only people freaking out on the market are the people trying to sell you courses. They're freaking out because they can't get their course sales, and that's how they make all their money. That is their life, their livelihood, everything like that. Basically, what I'm going to tell you today is don't worry about that. That is actually not going to be on the forefront of the winter is coming. Now, you know it's happening. Guys, I live in Florida, so the worst thing to happen in Florida, besides the Dolphins losing or something scary, is hurricanes. And the cool part about hurricanes versus tornadoes is I have family that used to live out in Kansas, right? Like, a lot of tornadoes going. Tornadoes scare the stinking heck out of me. You know why? Because tornadoes, you don't know when they're coming. They just like hit you out of nowhere, like boop, boop. The panoramic, I can't say the word on YouTube because YouTube doesn't like it when I say it, but the panoramic, the sickness that went around, the quote unquote sickness was more or less a tornado. That was something that happened like within a couple months. I know, like, September, there's the first couple cases like that, but like really like March, the spring of 2020, that's when things went like it just within a month. That's a tornado. This is more of a hurricane. And hurricanes are interesting because like you see the hurricane like 2 weeks ahead, and you kind of have a trajectory of what state it's going to hit and everything like that. And like, you're pretty prepared, right? You get months and months before you happen. That's what I'm calling this. Like, it's more of a hurricane, and it sounds scarier than a tornado, but it's actually easier because it might be big, but you see it huge, and it's going like 5 miles an hour. And it's all the way out in like Puerto Rico. So like you already know, like when a hurricane comes to Puerto Rico, cause I'm in Florida, I know it's coming from like, maybe it's like a week away, like 14, like I know what to do. I put the shutters up, get my generator, get my water, get my food. I'm like, I know what to do. Same thing in your wholesaling real estate business. When you see the hurricane coming from like the islands over there, you know what to do. Pull more government lists, work harder to find your cash buyers, spend more time actually going out here and talking to motivated sellers and only going after motivated lists. Like, it's very, very, very common sense, more or less, that I teach you guys on here. Like, it's very, like, it's not complicated what to do when the market goes crazy, right? It's like a hurricane. What do you do if you live in Florida and there's a hurricane? Stock up on water, stock up on food, get a shutter, make sure your loved ones are safe. Same thing for wholesaling. If the market's going to get crazier, you're going to have to deal with more, there's going to be more deals, less cash buyers. So I have to work harder on cash buyers and go out really, really motivated seller lists. That's it. So again, a quick question here. What's the definition of the word the YouTube doesn't like? It's panoramic. It's C19. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. I put on the facial coverings because of this happened. You guys know, like, when I say that word, it gets flagged, and then I get a government health advisory on the bottom of the YouTube description, and like it messes up the algorithm. Okay. One thing I tell you right now is that is one winter type thing that's coming. If everyone watched Game of Thrones, like, winter's coming, right? Brace for winter. That's the biggest thing a lot of people see, but that, in my opinion, that is probably, I would say, half of the storm. There's another half to the storm today that no other wholesalers talked about. No other industry guru, influencer, whatever has talked about in their lives. And this is one thing, or on any video, and this is one I want to see. This is something that no one ever talks about, and I feel like I need to be the first person to say it. Me and Rick are in agreement with this. I can't say the word right. Is this live? So the legitimization of wholesaling real estate is the other half of the winter's coming. This is the other half of the emergency message I'm trying to broadcast today. This is the other half of the thing I feel like a lot of wholesalers have to hunker down and understand about this industry. That wholesaling real estate is becoming more legitimate. If you looked at wholesaling real estate when I started like 5 years ago, even when Rick started 20 plus years ago, wholesaling was a little minute side hustle. It was just a little piece of the pie in the real estate space, the side hustle space. a way of making a living, a way of, and like, it was a very minute, super small industry. The only people that knew about it were the infomercial guys, people selling books. There's not a lot of wholesalers out here. Heck, I think when Rick was first starting out, there's maybe, I'd say 6 or 7 wholesalers in Port St. Lucie in a city of 200,000. Right now, I could probably tell you there's probably 300 to 400 wholesalers in Port St. Lucie. And that's as I know of, and there's plenty in Fort Pierce, right? What I mean by the legitimization of wholesaling means that wholesaling is becoming a legit industry. National title companies are taking notice. Realtors are taking notice. Legislators in Congress are taking notice. They are understanding that wholesaling is legit. And this is causing a lot of newbies in wholesaling to understand, hey, this thing's actually real. You know, these really big people in the real estate space are actually talking about understanding that this thing's actually a real business, right? There's We Buy Ugly Houses science people, like, they're making legitimate incomes. They're legitimately wholesaling houses, and they're an actual good for the industry. Bigger Pockets helped out this. Grant Cardone's actually done videos on wholesaling, kind of legitimate, making this industry legit. Realtors are actually helping a lot because they're working with wholesalers and actually making it a real industry, more or less. Wholesaling is becoming more mainstream. What does this mean? This means more or less the big influencers, more or less. So I'll talk about TikTok, for example, right? You know, I started posting little TikToks, you know, about how to start wholesaling, right? Nobody could give a rat's butt about wholesaling or what it was, right? Like, nobody cared when I started posting about, like, how to find cash buyers. Nobody cared. But the thing is, I started showing people on TikTok, like, how to start wholesaling houses. I started just posting checks. Like, hey, here's a $20,000 check. Here's a title company. You know, I cold call this guy, see if I'm going to sell it. Like, I made it simple. And a lot of influencers are doing that. The one thing about that became crazy on TikTok, TikTok's crazy for the young guns out here. But TikTok probably tripled the real estate wholesaling industry the past year because millions of people got exposed to wholesaling that never got exposed to it. They never watched YouTube for the problem with YouTube, you got to search YouTube to find it. It just popped up on their feeds when they're scrolling, watching people dance or twerk or do whatever they do. And that legitimately tripled the wholesaling real estate industry overnight. Like, within a year, it was unbelievable. Companies like Open Door were basically wholesaling to a point. They were buying properties, but they were basically just winning deals on the buy side. The entire wholesaling industry started getting legitimate, becoming more legitimate. And a lot of people on TikTok, everywhere, even on YouTube, like, you know, you're a kid right now. You're 20 years old. You're 18, 19 years old. Let's say 17. You search side hustles, right? People are going to tell you all the side hustles, right? Let's talk about the side hustles. Drop shipping, Amazon FBA, social media marketing agencies, Forex, surplus funds. Like, you look at all these, and then you look at wholesaling, right? Like, those are basically, like, more or less, there's garage sale flipping, but, like, I'm talking like making decent money. That's pretty much it. Like, you really look at all the side hustles for an 18-year-old kid to do. You look at them, and let's kind of break down these side hustles more or less. Like, why is wholesaling becoming more mainstream? Why is it becoming more insane? Let's actually have a legit conversation about this. Drop shipping, which I was making $20K plus a year drop shipping when I was like 16. Like, I've drop shipped. FYI, I got my blueberry iced tea today. Tea with Zach. Tea with Z? I got to get a good name for these. Like crazy new live streams. I don't know. Tea with Z? I don't know. But drop shipping, like, you got to spend a ton of money. You got to do Facebook ads. Facebook ads are like, that's not a good side hustle, right? You look at Forex, right? You got to, spend $1,000 a month buying euros and then doing a conversion. Like, it's so crazy. So if I'm 18, I can't spend $1,000. Surplus funds, it's like it's super confusing. I got to pay a $5,000 course to learn it. Wholesaling, right? You're telling me I just go on Zillow, the for sale by owners. I just call them, see if they want to sell their house, find a cash buyer, use a title company, learn for free at freewholesaling.com, and I just get a $15,000 check? Which one do you think the 18-year-old kid is going to know? And which one's, like, first of all, wholesaling is the simplest one out there. You find an ugly house, you sell it to a rich landlord. Make money. Like, it's really not that confusing. But that's it. Like, more or less, those are like the side hustles for an 18-year-old kid. So when I go on TikTok, I show a $20,000 check. No other drop shipper or side hustle guy can really do that. So you look at that, it's like, this is why wholesaling on TikTok has tripled. And unfortunately for you guys, I'm getting a lot more followers because of this, obviously, because I'm the only one that's giving everything out for free, which is, I mean, good for me, I guess. But like, wholesaling in my market went from like 200 wholesalers to like 1,000 in like 2 years. Like, it's insane. And the wholesaling industry in the next 3 years is probably going to double or triple again because of TikTok. It's just the law of large numbers. When you got 1,000 people talking about wholesaling versus 100,000 people talking about it, so they talk to their friends, cousins, like, it just gets bigger, right? So you got to understand that this industry is prime to double or triple again. And there's not many industries out here like this. So you got to understand, you guys are like on like if we look at the cycle, like, you're wholesaling like 1994 right now. Like, if you really look at, like, in the next 20, 30 years, you're going to beg to be wholesaling right now. So the next part is, like, a lot of people really think this is like the most saturated time. I promise you, this is a cheap time right now. So like, let's kind of look at, like, I won't show you, but like Amazon stock. Look at Amazon stock in like 2002. You know, the whole internet stuff was like saturated more or less. The Amazon stock was like $50, right? And everyone's like, oh my gosh, like, this is like the most. These stocks are up. They crashed 80%. Like, you know, this is risky stuff. Like, people would have died to buy stock at like $50, knowing with the stock splits, that stock probably worth 10 grand if you just put $50 into it, right? Or like Tesla, stuff like that. You start thinking for a second, like, whoa, this is insane. I should have gone harder in 2002 with doing that than versus now, right? And a lot of people think right now wholesaling is the worst. This is probably one of the best times because this industry is because I talked about wholesaling before the industry like 10x'd. That's when I was wholesaling starting out. It 10x now. It's probably going to 2 or 3x again. And you're 2xing a large amount of wholesalers already. So you start thinking about that to a point. Wholesaling is going to get bigger. These TikTok influencers are going to stop. All these people, so many people are posting checks. So many people are making hundreds of thousands loaning for me for free. They're probably going to YouTube. It's just the influencer thing is going to be crazy. People used to be influencers for wholesaling just for the money. If you're going to do it for the JV deals now, which is something that I've started to do, and everyone's starting to kind of realize I'm making a ton of money doing that. You got to understand that if this industry is going to double or triple, it's going to get more saturated. And that might be sad or bad, but like, no other person is talking about this. And I've personally seen it with my own eyes the past 5 years. Rick's seen the past 20 years how crazy this industry is. The insane part is, this is the funnest part. Every time the industry's like doubled, I've doubled my income. And that's because sellers looked at us more legitimate. Cash buyers looked at me more legitimate. And there's never a short supply of ugly houses. And if you can understand that if you become better and you start working with the new wholesalers and actually JV with them also, like, if you're a guy, like I see Corey Fernando, like, doing some deals, if you start JVing, because I know Fernando did some JV, like, if there's like 10 new kids, let's say I'm looking at Fernando in Pensacola, right? If you teach these kids what to do and you split the deal with them, or like, you know, they find a cash buyer or they find a driving for dollars lead, help them out, like, with the industry getting bigger, you can make tons of money with them, right? And you don't have to be a coach. Like, you just in the chat, hang out. You're in Pensacola, right? Do your little meet. Like, I do whatever you want, right? And this is a really good quote. I actually really love this quote before I did the live. Ball P popped this up. You know, some people snowboard and ski, and some people freeze and die during an avalanche or like a winter, right? And this is what I want to tell you guys. Like, winter is coming here for wholesaling real estate. This industry is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. More houses are being built too. I think that's another thing. And so in like 10 years, there's going to be more ugly houses, right? And this winter is going to hit. And you got to understand that a lot of people like have this misconception that, like, you know, when the market goes down, everyone's going to leave wholesaling. It's going to still double or triple. It might have 5x, but it's going to double or triple. Because there's no other side hustle right now for $0 you can make a ton of money in wholesaling. Any money as an 18-year-old. Like, no one will take it seriously. Real estate, they will. You can do it all virtually. The thing about the wholesaling real estate industry, it's not even tapped right now. When I started this YouTube channel, nobody in wholesaling was wholesaling from Sweden, Europe. I have a ton of people from Nigeria watching this, actually doing a ton of deals. Like, this is becoming more legitimate, which means the world is starting to do virtual wholesaling. I love my Swedes. Love my people from Serbia. I love my people from Brazil. I love all these people from international hopping on. And I don't know about you. There's 350 odd million people in the United States. Guys, there's over a billion people in Europe. Billions in China, India, billions in Africa. It dwarfs the size of the United States, which means wholesaling real estate easily double or triple the next 5 years and triple again, right? And if you are lucky enough, let's say again, I'm calling out Fernando. I don't know why I'm calling out Fernando today, but like if there's like 5 Nigerians that are finding a bunch of leads and they're wanting to work with like Fernando on, like he's going to make a ton of money, right? Like he is skiing during the avalanche. He is not freezing. So if you understand what's going on right now, that yes, there might be a drawback in prices. You got to do what's right. Again, on the Flip of the Brick YouTube channel, this is the Zach Ginn YouTube channel. Tomorrow on the Flip of the Brick YouTube channel, I do this live for 2 reasons. I want to do some awesome lives on the Zach Ginn, they're exclusive, but also I'm doing a really big video tomorrow with Rick. It's recorded. It's all edited. It looks really pretty. The 10 steps you have to know to survive a real estate market crash for wholesaling. It's kind of a course, kind of condensed. A pretty long video, but like it's really, really good. Easily sell that for $100 or something, like probably 400 or 500. We're going to wait tomorrow on the Flip of the YouTube channel. So FYI, keep it out there 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. But you got to understand, guys, that like things are changing. And if the market starts being weird, the real estate industry triples, a lot of wholesalers are not, they're not going to know what to do. And if you're lucky enough to watch this emergency meeting transmission video tonight, you know exactly what's going on. No one else talks about this, and I'm here to talk about it. If you want to survive, and thrive, you're going to have to do what other people aren't willing to do. So now we understand, first of all, that I honestly don't know what the real estate market is. My guess is 10 to 20% down. Guys, I mean, people that are way smarter than me were wrong, and people that are way dumber than me got it right. Like, I don't know. I don't. The only thing I know, it won't really affect wholesalers too much if you know what you're doing right. Creative finance is always great. I'm going crazy on creative finance, but like that's for another day. This is a wholesaling video, right? But like this industry is going to get bigger. These influencers are going to go crazier. The side hustles, like you look at all the side hustles, like why would you do anything else except for wholesaling real estate? Another part here is like, because the industry is getting so much bigger, there's also like a lazification of wholesalers out here, which means like you buy a course from a guru, they tell you to do something, you follow their system, and then it leads to saturation. I've seen gurus tell you only do low equity leads on a creative finance thing, and then like that gets saturated. I see people going actually out here, and like I see someone says trying for dollars, and they teach trying for dollars like this really crazy way, and then like everyone starts doing it, and it gets insane. FYI, guys, like on this channel, like we're live right now. I am doing a late live stream. I do want the weekend warriors to finally get something. People that work nights, something like, because warriors got live at 5, right? I want to do something where a lot of people who can't really catch the lives usually get a hop on. People that work regular jobs, people that they just can't hop on. It's great to hop on here and talk, but the industry is having some crazy stuff going down. So the solution to this problem is you're going to have to be pulling lists that nobody else is pulling. Government lists, like I always say, I've been saying them forever, code violations, fire damaged properties, water shutoffs, right? Pre-foreclosures. Pre-foreclosures are going to be spiking like crazy. You just got to embrace it. I would recommend a lot of people, if you're starting to make some money in wholesaling, like start JVing, start connecting with people in your market, and start getting it. Jordan has a really good question here, owning a Facebook group, right? I think that a lot of wholesalers out here, if there's no Facebook group for your county or city, you should definitely have one. Even if it's like the Northeastern Missouri real estate investors. I personally would tell you this right now. I do not recommend having a like state one. I would make a very specific one. I don't recommend making a wholesaling group, because if you're going to host the Facebook group, it should be for all real estate investors. You want cash buyers in there with wholesalers, right? And you can kind of just control it more or less where people can see if they want to work with you, right? So like if you're in like, I don't know, like I live in the Treasure Coast of Florida. So it's like the Treasure Coast Real Estate Investors Group. Like there's already one. So like, what's the point of me making one? But like, if there's none for you, I'd make one, you know, even if it's the Hamilton County Real Estate Investors, like make a group, because people are going to make one. At least you can own it, host the party more or less, and get cash buyers doing that too. It'll work really, really well. So that is my emergency message. You know, winter is coming. A lot of things are shaking up the wholesaling industry, and I want you to know what's going on with it. I do these videos not to scare you, but I do these videos to educate you and inform you that this is not a scary time. This is a time for you to thrive. And if you do the right things, you can. And I'd love to know that people are like, dang, the only people that thrived are the people that are watching some of the Rick stuff and Zach stuff, and it works pretty well. So yeah. Corey says, can we get a tea soda review? I always drink a bunch of stuff, you know. This is blueberry Arizona tea, I think. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. I don't know. I always got to drink something while I'm on these lives. But Shaquille says, I usually miss the lives at 5 because I work a 12-hour shift night half the week. Need this vid, thanks. See, I'm doing this for Shaquille, you know. Shaquille works 12-hour shifts. Hats off to him. And he usually can't hop on these lives. Now he gets to actually watch a live with me. And Shaquille, you ask any question you want, I'm always here to answer it. You know, this is exclusive. If you're watching, you're subscribed to the Zach Ginn channel, you get to actually hop on these lives and talk to me. I'm always here to help. Corey, what is up? Corey just recorded a podcast with him. Shout out to him. He said, my biggest fear is that government agencies catch on to why we want the list and straight up refuse to cooperate. Corey, that's fine, more or less, because you can always get the list. It is a government list, so I don't care if they catch on. If you're not selling the list, you still have a right for the list. One thing is like, there's companies out here that take people's mugshots and post them online, and on like their private corporations, and you have to pay money to get your mugshot off their thing. And how do they get these mugshots? They FOIA the heck out of the government sheriff's websites. And, you know, they're profiting off the list, but they have lawyers, or it's like, it's public information who gets arrested, right? And so that's why, like Justin Bieber gets arrested, like that photo is like out there because you can FOIA it. News agencies, stuff like you're not going to have a problem with the government agency lists. The worst case scenario is you just go to the liens online, because the liens have to be public record and you'll be fine. There's code violation liens. Like there's definitely so many ways you can be doing it. It's fine. So let's answer some questions. I want to hop on, talk to you guys. A night video might be interesting. You know, we set up a new studio at my house. So some new videos next week on the Zach Ginn channel here from the new studio. So this is kind of the studio me and Rick use for the Flip with Rick videos, some of the Zach Ginn videos, the Rick Ginn videos, right? Pretty much all my lives are from here. I might start to do some lives at my house. But this one has like the nice camera and everything, the nice mic, and the gaming PC. I got my own gaming PC, but this is like the Mac Daddy gaming PC in here. So I don't know. I thought it'd be kind of cool. So let's see here. So Efren says, "What's up, brother? Do you recommend virtual drawing for dollars? I know you had a podcast on it. I don't like virtual drawing for dollars. I'm not a big fan. I'm just being completely honest with you. I'm not a big fan. What's up, Aiden? What's up, Andrea? Bestow your wisdom upon me, Zach. Of course. I see some of the politicals. Like I'm not. This is honestly, I'm not getting political on y'all. I'm not promoting a candidate for president or anything. I'm not doing that. Zach, I have a guy that says he's an executive on his deed's wife. He's an executive on his dead wife's estate, but he still has to go through probate. Property also has liens. I gotta look at Georgia. I know you have an attorney that can help you out with this. Just see if you can close or lock up the deal while it's in probate. You pretty much an attorney you can pay for it. It's a good referral, so definitely get it right. No comment. Is this live at 10 p.m.? We're live right now, right? Can we have a yeah, I already said that one. Boynton Beach. Let me know if anyone in Boynton Beach is here that can help with a cash buyer. There's plenty of Boynton Beach people, though. Gotta get serious, guys. These deals won't sell themselves anymore. These numbers have to be good. Buyers can't bank on appreciation. 100%. So, again, I'll give a quick, I love the profile here. What is the synopsis of what I was kind of saying before and what I'm kind of saying in the live today is because wholesaling, most likely the real estate market might have a slight dip in prices, which means that we're going to have to get better prices with the sellers. Cash buyers they're going to want better prices. Sellers going to understand that. That's fine, right? Zillow might not reflect what the real market value is. Zillow's really not dealt with a market crash before, so their algorithms might be all squonky and weird, right? They've always banked on appreciation. Realtor.com, all that stuff. And the second part is wholesaling is getting bigger, so we're getting more saturated and prices are going down. Now, you got to understand how to deal with this. Not a big deal. It's just knowing what to do, right? Like, it's knowing what to do. It's like boxing. If you see someone tries an uppercut, get out of the way. Kind of shocking, right? If someone tries to punch you, you can block the punch, right? Like, there's ways around it, right? It's just knowing what to do. So, for example, it's like if you're driving and someone like stops like 100 feet away from you and you see the red light, start applying the brakes or moving lanes, right? Like, it's common sense what I'm saying to a point. But like, I'm just trying to convey to a lot of people that are newer, like what's going on. And hopefully this helps. Yeah, the real hustlers are always like, I think a lot of older people like ragging on my generation, the newer generation, and people in high school now is just like lazy kids. And, if you look at the 70s, people used to look at, teenagers in the 70s as lazy bums. And then like the 50s, like, oh my gosh, these high schoolers in 1940, they're lazy bums, right? And then the people in the 1910s were saying, like, it's always said like that, right? My generation probably going to say that about kids growing up in 2054, right? There's always hustlers everywhere. There's always young kids getting it. Young guys and gals out here. If you are willing to put in the work, if you outwork everyone, you will win every single time. There's never doubt in my mind. If you put your mind to it and you actually play it smart to a point, if you have a decent IQ, an EQ of more or less what's going on, what I mean by this, you can put in the work, but if you put in the work and the results are terrible, you got to know when to shift. I think that's one thing a lot of wholesalers don't understand about wholesaling, and that's a big, big problem I always see. What do I mean by this? Like, if you were putting bandit signs out and they're just not working, and you put 1,000 out and you've gotten like 2 calls, and you keep doing that and you spend 40 hours a week, that's not smart or hustle cool. That's just stupid, right? And you do drawing for dollars, and you put 1,000 hours in that and you get a ton of deals. It's like, okay, well, that's better. I'm just like, grinding's great to a point, but you got to be smart with your grind. Like, grind on things that matter, okay? I could spend 1,000 hours in the gym. I could spend 2 hours a day in the gym, and if I was only doing calf raises, my calves are going to be huge, but my bench is going to stink. I'm going to have tiny quad. Like, I can't squat, right? It depends what you do. And if the goal is to get abs and you're only doing calves, you're never going to do well, right? But I spent the 2 hours in the gym. It doesn't matter. It's what you do in the gym that matters, or how smart. Like, there's people, I show you Dorian Yates. He spent 45 minutes in the gym, and he was like Mr. Olympia. Okay? Like, it doesn't matter how much work you put in. It's like how effective those 45 minutes were work, but like, it depends most of the times, like how much work you actually put in the grind than the grind itself. I used to be a big grind guy until I learned government lists, and I used to just cold call high equity lists. Like, I was stupid. Okay? I learned what started working, and it worked really well for me. Yeah, no, wholesaling is not dead. Wholesaling is more live. It's actually getting more live, okay? Good tea. I like the peach. Peach iced tea is good too. But let's see. Bruh. You're funny, man. I do not think we need an organization to lobby and fight for us. That turns us back into bureaucracy, which will never be good for anyone. There's a reason why. I'm not going to get into it, but Every big side hustle basically doesn't have a big one like that. And more or less, you get rules, and rules will literally stop the innovation of this industry. And it is not good for someone starting. The thing why wholesaling works so well is people $0 can go and do it. If you have to go pay an organization $200 a year and you learn from someone that stopped wholesaling, what are you going to do, right? It's true. You know, wholesaling's mainstream now. If you don't do things correctly, you can get ugly. Like I did an interview with Corey the other day. He's making he made $165,000 less than 6 months. Guess how Corey, who's 26, 27, with kids and a wife, how do you think Corey 6 months ago or 9 months ago learned about wholesaling? TikTok, okay? Like, it's mind-blowing that, like, he was so good at wholesaling and he learned from TikTok. A lot of people sleep on TikTok. Like, I actually have more followers on TikTok than I do on my Flipper YouTube channel. Zach, like, the wholesaling house for real has the most, but like, if you combine the Flipper TikTok and the Zach Ginn TikToks together, I'm almost at 100,000 followers on both of them combined. Insane. And I exposed 100,000 more people wholesaling. It's insane. So many of these people are coming from TikTok, and I'm a TikToker. I love it. It's fine, right? Like, I show checks. It's real, but like, you got to embrace it that the people are coming in, and people on TikTok, like Corey, he's legit, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of people are demonizing that. You know, I think it's crazy. But yeah, Sunday surprise live stream. Maybe I do live streams every Sunday night. I have no idea. Maybe from my crib, but like, nothing crazy. You know. Oh my gosh, these little like acoustic foam things. It took me forever to put up at my place. Forever, but it makes it sound better. So. And that's the point, Corey. Like, you can beat a lot of the new wholesale techniques, but they're going to get really good to a point. So you better work with them, right? So why teach us when you could be wholesaling and earning $1,000 per hour? Bro, if I earned $1,000 per hour, that's pretty good, actually. What is that? 8 times. Hold on. If I'm making 8K a day times 40 hours a week times 52. That is, bro, if I was making, how much is that? Yeah, I'm not making 16 mil a year. I will tell you that. I'm not making 16 million in wholesaling assignment fees this year. Yeah. So that's a good question. You know, why do you teach wholesaling if you can be earning? It's a catch-22. So number one, I could be cold calling right now, but here's the thing. Why would I spend 8 hours a day cold calling when I can pay it 4 VAs to cold call 8 hours a day? Now I'm cold calling 32 hours a day. Why would I go on an appointment when I can have 3 acquisitions people go on appointments for me, doing 3 appointments an hour versus I can only do 1 every 2 hours? Why do dispositions when I have VAs call my cash buyers and I have transaction coordinators? I'm completely out of the business, more or less. And I can teach people. Guess what happens when I teach people? They learn wholesaling for free. They make hundreds of thousands of dollars. They send me real estate deals. My team dispose the deal. I split the deal with them and make a ton of more money doing that. Now I'm one of the biggest virtual wholesalers when it comes to JVing deals, making millions of dollars. I just make a ton of money on these live streams because I teach people for free. They give me real estate wholesaling deals. I make a ton of money there, and I make a bunch of money in my actual wholesaling real estate business. Is a win-win-win-win-win for everyone, right? You got to think about that for a second, right? I think a lot of wholesalers actually get very confused on that concept. Why I teach everything for free? I teach most of this stuff for free because, where is it? Where's my little freewholesaling.com right in the bottom right there? I teach this for free more or less because I make a ton of money doing it. Also, I help the people out. That's kind of the point. Let's see. Surplus funds is cool. I know the biggest surplus funds coach type. He's actually a nice guy. I don't believe in the whole guru thing, but like, surplus funds is real. Like, I think wholesaling's better. But like, yeah, MLS is going to get better. I would work with a realtor that understands wholesaling, usually a young guy or gal, but it gets better. It's not at that point yet. Off market's still better, especially with the crazy it's going. Facts, thanks, Nico. Pathfinder says, I've spent most of the day studying with your free wholesaling course. Appreciate it, Pathfinder. Thank you so much here. So let's just do this. Free wholesaling's on the bottom here. Let's see. Kane, I'm in the Wholesaling Houses for Real group under this name. Like most of you guys watching the live stream, if you just go to Wholesaling Houses for Real in the Facebook group, which we're live in the Facebook group too, because I mean the Facebook group, we run deep there, right? It's insane right now that the wholesaling industry has to have 2 people to teach it for free, and that's it. Me and Rick. But unfortunately, and fortunately for you, it's us. Because this industry would have tripled without us. I'd rather us teach it for free than being a guru type industry. There is not live tomorrow at 5. It is a recorded video. We edited it, made it look really good. Perfect, right? That's it. Awesome, Jordan. 120,000 members. That's perfect. Make sure they're active members. In wholesaling, there's groups with 120,000 members that get maybe 50 new members a week, right? Like we only have 58,000, but we're getting around 1,900 people in every single week. So just understand the way Facebook groups work, Jordan, is it's active members. Like people that are actively liking videos, commenting, or whatever. We actually have the most, I looked it up, we have the most active members in our group out of everyone because I built that group in under a year. So just understand that. I don't look at groups to monetize them to a point. It is the only group still that provides free value. So yeah, that works too. Thank you. And also in the group on Facebook, you and Rick need a holiday for all that you do. Guys, this is like fun for me. Like right now, okay? Think of like, what could Zach do? What could Zach do right now? I legitimately, what was it, 10:47? Probably played Call of Duty, maybe some Madden with my buddies. Like, I don't know, watch Thor for the second time. I don't know. Like I've seen it all. Like I could be doing a lot of other things right now, just chilling, right? But I'm on the live. Got nothing else better to do, right? So no cold calling going on right now. So want to help the people out, And then back to work, tomorrow. Let's see. Does anyone know how to memorandum holds virtually? Houses? Let me know what you mean by that. Zach, I have a guy. I already answered that one. Talk to the attorney you're working with there. So, Steven, this is a really good topic. Very good question here. Is it true that they are cracking down on wholesale assignments? This is a great question. A lot of people are saying that. I had one guy, he posted that, Georgia is going to be outlawed. Somebody posted an article saying wholesaling should be outlawed in Georgia. Shocker. More or less, a lot of people like banning wholesaling. But when you ban wholesaling, you actually ban the buying and selling of real estate. The only way you can ban wholesaling is if you ban individuals from buying houses, which pretty much is against the contract clause in the Constitution, more or less. People can basically write up contracts more or less. I mean, to a point, like you can't use contracts to buy people. Like it's obviously illegal, but like to a point, right? I see a lot of people cracking down on assignments. There's only one state that's ever cracked down on assignments. There's literally only one, that's Illinois. And I've already kind of broke down how that whole law happens. That law basically states that you can't even buy real estate without a realtor. So in essence, that kind of makes wholesaling illegal per se. The only 2 states more or less has cracked down on wholesaling is Oklahoma and Nebraska, parts of Arizona to a point. But like these states, they only have one law. Pretty much you can't publicly market for sale the property, which means you can't pretend like you own the house. And that's borderline already illegal. So more like if you learn what I see at freewholesaling.com, it literally, those laws don't affect it. A lot of disclosures on there, but the Arizona law is so vague to a point where if you're intending on holding it or buying it, which you technically can, even if you have a cash buyer to work with here, you're technically fine. I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice or anything like that, but like these quote unquote laws are just kind of like, oh, we did something, but they don't really affect anything. And you can always double close, but like you don't really, all those states you don't need to double close. Like I had a talk with an attorney about like Oklahoma and stuff because we're doing a bunch of JVing. It's like, we're fine. Like you still hold, like you just can't publicly market. Like guys, I'm on the loop. I talk to lawyers, right? Like I'm talking to lawyers in multiple states about guys, like there's a guru talking all the time. There's actual lawyers, and The lawyers who read the law just like me, they understand how the law works. They basically don't do it. Like if you just don't act like you own the house and you call up a cash buyer and see if they want to buy a contract from you, not a house, you're fine. The people that are doing it's quote unquote illegal are the people that actually go and pretend they own the house. House for sale. They post that on Facebook. Like, you're selling the house? No, you're selling the contract. And I think that's one thing a lot of people, I see some people posting like contract for sale. That's fine. Like I don't like that too much. I don't do it, but yeah. I use PropStream for my basically a lot of my comping. I also use ZachData.com. Yeah, they have a good entire landlord list. Marco says, what is up, Marco? Any advice for a 17-year-old trying to virtually wholesale if it seems like I've caught the side hustle before it blew up? Like I said before, man, it's just going to double or triple again and you're going to be upset, okay? I've got caught the side hustle before it blew because I make the most out of it. I want to know what market you're in, Marco. I recommend you do go through freewholesaling.com. I do recommend you hop on the one-on-ones we have during the week. But what I could tell you is you're not too late. Government list and drawing for dollars. I want to know what market you're in. That'll probably help a lot. So Natalia, what's up, Natalia? I just finished your course, but I'm scared to make the leap, to pull the wrong list or to comp incorrectly. Not a big problem. If you comp wrong, you can always renegotiate the price. You have an inspection period, Natalia, where you can just get out of the contract. So don't worry. I think a lot of people really freak out over this. I honestly don't think it's a big deal. If you're talking to a seller and you get the wrong list, you'll know it's a wrong list. If you just pull the code violations, go to TrueBillSearch.com and call them. That's the right list. Not a big issue with that. Now, comping incorrectly, more or less you can do reverse wholesaling and get a cash buyer, right? But one thing you got to understand too is just renegotiate it, right? And get the best price out of the seller. And I don't think you can become that wrong. So that is one big tip I can tell you right now. Do you need a land? Do you land a lot? So most of my land deals are local. I do a lot of other land deals like JVing to a point too. But I don't find land deals more or less. The land deals I do find, they are locally, right? But they're kind of by accident. But most of the other land deals are just, finding cash buyers on a JV. And I find exclusively most of my cash buyers on land on PropStream. It's ZachData.com too, but mostly PropStream. I feel like the land's better on PropStream. I don't know why. When you're, Chantel, what's up? When you were informed that the owner passed away and no one knows who the next of kin is, what's the next step? So there's a lot of situations you got to go with this. So first of all, you got to see who's on the deed. I would go to TrueBillSearch.com and there is a probate process to a point. There will be heirs. I think more point, you don't know who the next of kin is. Usually they're 95%. There's always a next of kin on there. If not, it technically goes to the government, but there's usually always a next of kin on there. And it might even be your job to contact them. So I would look at the deed, look up the name, look up the heirs, and go from there. Put a sticky note on the house. You'll get a call. I promise you. Have you ever done a mobile home wholesale? Yeah, Jacob. I've wholesaled a ton of mobile homes. I own a lot of mobile homes as rentals. Freewholesaling.com. I kind of have the whole breakdown of there. Joseph says, I'm having a hard time getting a list during the day because I work and I work a second job. Is there anything I can do online to get better? I can't afford PropStream right now. So locally, bro, Joseph, I would reverse drive for dollars. Right now, if you work a bunch of jobs, if you don't work 2 hours a week on a Saturday or Sunday, reverse drive for dollars government list and then drive for dollars in between there for just 2 hours, the sticky notes, I promise you, that's going to be the fastest, best list. There's no cold calling. There's no skip tracing. Leads come to you. I'm actually doing a full breakdown of it, because it's such a powerful tool. And I feel like a lot of people like you that work two jobs, you might only have 2 or 3 hours to work on the wholesaling side. That's not a big deal, right? You could still make it work. I think the reverse drawing for dollars is going to be the most effective part. So Jake said, drawing for dollars, that reverse drawing for dollars, government lists, pre-foreclosures on reverse drawing for dollars. I like SMS text blasting them too. And cold calling high equity vacants. I love them too. Also, if you're running a bigger operation, just cold calling the basically the high equities with like they've owned it for at least 4 or 5 years, about 60% equity, I would say, below the median home price. Like I have all that filters at freewholesaling.com. Like that's a decent list to be going after, Jake. That's definitely a really good list. But like here's the problem. I know about all these lists because I literally like in my market, I've kind of like sucked all the deals per month out. Like there's new deals next month to be doing, and my team's obviously doing that. But like, I'm like, okay, I'm doing these many deals. How can I get more? Okay, let's do the code violations. Okay, no, all right. What else? Probates. Okay, we're doing all the probates. Like I'm doing like 5 deals a month. There. I'm like, how can I get more deals? I look at my previous deals. I'm like, okay, that guy got arrested. Let's see the arrest record list with high equity, right? This guy had an IRS debt lien list. This guy's behind on credit card. Like I just kind of did the math. The only ones that like I found that didn't really work on like a government side or surprised like the child support liens, they don't really work in my market. I've never really, I've wholesaled houses with child support liens on them. They don't work too well. It's kind of surprising, but like I've seen it all the time, but I don't recommend it too much. I think a lot of wholesalers out here, they go after some of the weird lists, and I just don't think the multifamily. I get asked like, should I go after multifamily? Not a big fan of that. Gotta keep moving, shifting. You see what works best. Yeah, hands down. What would the best deal you can offer when working as an agent in California? So I'm working with an agent. I could probably win $5,000 if they bring a really good high ARV buyer. I'll give them $5,000 all day. That's a good amount. I give them more if they give me more deals, right? I think that's one thing too. I try to text you, Zach. Send me the deals tomorrow. We can do it. Wholesaling. No, the whole drop shipping thing requires a lot of capital, so I would not say that. Peach iced tea is banging. I love peach iced tea. It's gonna be harder for beginners to get. The problem is the caffeine in there. Like I can't drink like a gallon of it. I drink a gallon of iced tea a day. Problem is the caffeine, you go crazy. So it's gonna be harder for beginners to get. It's not harder for beginners to get started, but it's harder for a lot of beginners to get started if they don't do what I say. And that sounds egotistical, I get it, but like if you get started and you do what every other influencer guru type person tells you to do, you're going to fail. Like you're not 100%. Like I don't like an absolute statement. I don't like talking in absolutes, but if you do what every guru tells you to do, cold call the same list, you're going to fail. More or less, most of the time. You got to be calling for the government list, the list that to get results that others don't, you have to do what others won't. So you got to do. Most people aren't like just Natalia, like straight up. I don't even know what market you're in. If you pull the code violation list for the past month, most wholesalers in your market aren't willing to pull that list. Hands down, they are not willing to pull that list. So go after that one. No one on TikTok besides me is that really talking about that. So yeah. Raul says, what's up? What's up, Raul? Literally seen a TikTok video, found Flip with Rick, went all in. That's it. Yep, pre-foreclosures, creative financing. That's very solid type. Kane, I swear, if you're a guru, I'm going to be so upset. You learn people actually learn from me for free, okay? They learn from me for free, and they sell that same info on a course. It drives me crazy. But y'all heard it from me first, so it's true. But like people will learn it need the long form. I got the life call. So Martin's got a good idea. The Miami Dolphin games halftime. I do a halftime live. It might not be a good idea because I might be very upset during halftime and I might get very moody. But that might be fun actually. I got the studio at my house now, so hey, could be. I've been to some Dolphins games though, so like I might be live from the game, but. So if you don't know what pre-foreclosures are right now, you need to go to freewholesaling.com. Like just go to freewholesaling.com right now. Right now, like I have a full hour, like I have the PowerPoint. It's set out perfectly. I have the graphics all set. It's all beautiful. Okay. It's like, oh, chef's kiss, right? If you don't know what pre-foreclosures are, go to freewholesaling.com. There is a pre-foreclosure marketing list module. I break down the entire. It's basically when people are behind on their mortgage, their bank payment. Most people have mortgages, so it's a good one. So mortgages are big. So let's see here. What's up, gamer Chris? love the background here. Let's see. Gamer Chris says, I'm wondering if you can call me. Can I call you? Because I really want to learn how to wholesale. Chris, hop on the lives. The next time you can talk to me one-on-one is going to be Tuesday or Wednesday, more or less. Probably Tuesday, honestly. So if go to the Wholesaling House for Real Facebook group, link's going to be on the top. You can talk to me one-on-one. Yeah, you can wholesale an HOA pre-foreclosure. More or less, it's just an extra lien. Sometimes HOAs actually have rules on them, so you do have to be careful. Sometimes, like, you can't buy a property and sell it within a certain amount of time. Some HOAs are better there. It makes it harder for wholesaling for buy it. There's always going to be a rental landlord at the right price that's willing to buy it. So yeah, networking, hands down. Andrew says, have you ever accidentally doxed a deal for yourself? Yes, I have. Plenty of times on this live stream where I've kind of just shown a deal, and I kind of just showed the house, and I've had wholesalers actually cold call the old seller of the house when I actually flipped it. Mess. What do you mean it was on YouTube? Oh God. So I've actually like been through some situations, not anymore, like I hate to say it, but like I have to blur out a bunch of like that video I did last week, make 49,700. I had to blur out the address on Zillow because y'all are going to be harassing the seller. I've had too many people harass the seller, and like a lot of them are like people that just don't like me. Oh, you should sue Zach. He made too much money. Like insane stuff. And I got good rapport with these sellers, but like it's not worth the harassment. And when you got a bigger, like I got a decent following to a point, like there's a lot of haters on here, a lot of trolls. I don't like, my face out here public, right? Like it's not, I didn't do it for the seller. Right. And, no, no. So I've had some deals, I was working on that. Like, I've only like a couple times they've talked to sellers that like after I've done the deal, never like actual deals, because I don't talk about the deals I talk to are probably 1% of the deals I do. So like I'm doing like 5 to 6 locally, like just like flips more or less, 3 to 4, like 10 deals locally, and maybe 10 to 15 JV deals more or less. It's getting up to, hopefully we get up to 20, 30. Working on 10 to 15. So it's like, I'm doing all these deals. Like I don't talk about most of them because like y'all going to be ruining these deals for me. So it kind of stinks, but whatever. The realtors are cold calling just like us. It's a matter of beating. Yeah. And I don't really look at it as beating the realtor, because I tell all my, and this is the one thing why I became doing lives and teaching people wholesaling, because more or less, so many wholesalers starting out think they're going against wholesaler. Like they think they're going against realtors. I hate it. I hate, like, I want to work with wholesalers because I work with realtors, because these wholesalers, they're helping realtors out, because I tell my sellers like, hey, you want to sell? Go with a realtor. Like if you want the most, go with a realtor. And the ones that don't go with the realtor, I'm okay with that. I kind of make a kickback on some, but like a lot of them, they don't even want to deal with me, and it works really, really well. So what I could tell you is the realtors, I don't think they affect wholesalers at all. I don't think they'll lose commissions at all. I think it's kind of hot garbage sometimes for it. So Chris, go to freewholesaling.com. I tell you, bro, my starting video, just do the 30-day wholesaling challenge. It's in there. It'll help you out. Brian's got to go. Zach, what's your take on forming an LLC, then selling the LLC? That's in contract. It's legal. It's a legal loophole. I don't know about New York, bro, but I do think it's actually it's actually pretty decent, more or less, if you're going to do it like in a weird state that wholesaling is a little weird on. So yeah. Yeah, these lives are saved. Let's see. What if you partner already on a JV deal? How can I get in without pushing somebody out the deal? How can I still get paid? Just sign a JV agreement, more or less. I'm actually at work and I caught you in my break, but I'm going to go in again. All right, good luck, Natalia. Let's see here. So Michael's got a good question. Why are high equity homes good deals? High equity homes are actually really good wholesaling deals because when they got a lot of equity, like when the deals got a lot of equity, they can sell for a discount and you make a discount on it. So they're usually, when there's more high equity, they're more willing to take a discount on it. That's kind of the best way I can explain it, more or less. So if I have a $100,000 house, I own it free and clear, I could sell it for 60. If I owe 80, I can't sell it for 60. Let's see here. I literally pulled a narrow down tired landlord list as a vacant list today, adding this with my fresh government list. Awesome. And then freewholesaling.com. Awesome. Appreciate it, Jordan. Shaquille says, I'm 30 years old, but I wish I would have known about this years ago. Being a father, definitely going to create that generational wealth. Appreciate JT, means a lot. Thank you so much. The haters are local wholesalers, not sellers. I agree. A lot of them are. It's insane. It's insane. But yeah, guys. So more or less, there is a winter coming in wholesaling real estate. You have to know what to do and more or less how to actually become successful in this. So what I can tell you is I'm going to say, like, what's reverse trend, guys? Just go to. I'm telling you right now, if you actually want to be successful in the quote unquote winter that's coming in wholesaling, you have to understand that you have to do what other people aren't willing to do. The government lists are going to be key. Everything's going to be key for success. But like, if you know the wholesaling industry is getting bigger, work with other wholesalers, work with other people, and actually you cannot have a scarcity mindset. You have to have an abundance mindset. When you have an abundance mindset, your wholesaling is going to change. There's so many deals out here that your competition is going to get that you won't even have a shot at. Hands down. So if you want to be able to do that, you got to JV with people. You got to actually help people out. It's a crazy principle in life, but it's true. The more you help people out, the better stuff happens to you. And I don't do that. Like, I don't give everything out for free and try to be nice in this industry just because I expect something back. But it always comes back. And I don't have to worry about, like, I just want to help. So guys, there is a winter coming. If you know what to do, you're going to be fine. The government lists, go after lists that most people aren't willing to do. Drive for dollars, reverse drive for dollars. JV with wholesalers. Understand this industry is getting bigger, and this could be a gift or a curse for you. You got to choose how to do it. And if you do it the right way, you'll be successful. Guys, this is Zach Ginn signing out. So make sure you smash the like button and subscribe. See you guys Tuesday for the next live stream. Huge video tomorrow on the Flip with Ricky YouTube channel on the top 10, the 10 steps to survive a real estate wholesaling crash with me and Rick. It'll be really, really fun. So guys, appreciate it. Smash the like button and subscribe. Go to freewholesaling.com and we'll see you soon. Hopefully guys appreciated this virtual emergency message live stream on the Zach Ginn YouTube channel.